Okay, hello everyone, Leo here, Chilean physician and science fiction author, and today is a very special day because, as you know, it's April 23rd and we are celebrating the World Book Day. So, happy book day to you. Do you hear that? That someone in the street just hung. That was because of World Book Day. So, it's a great day. I really like this. I'm filming this as of today, Friday, April 23rd. So it's gonna be updated video right away. And well, just to start, the reason why it's celebrated on April 23rd. I think you may know, but I think it's always really awesome to just remember why. I think it's a really cool fact. Historical fact. So basically, it's celebrated on April 23rd because it's the date when both Miguel de Cervantes and William Shakespeare both died, which was on April 23rd, 1616. But here's the interesting thing. It was actually the same date, but it was not really the same day, because in Spain they were using the Gregorian calendar, which is the one we are using today, but in England they were still using the Julian calendar. So actually Shakespeare died 10 days later, but because of the calendars, the date itself was April 23rd. So, interesting, right? But anyway, the spirit's there. The thing is that we are celebrating them because of how powerful their literature was and how awesome it is that we still read their books. So, once again, happy World Day. I think it's awesome. The day is actually very, very nice. It's a very... Well, I actually love cloudy days. I love cloudy days and cold days because I think it's because I spent my childhood in southern Chile, but I really like this. So it's perfect for me. Let me show you. Let's see. So can you see something? Let's see. I'm holding. Probably this is not working so well, but anyway, you can see that the sky is gray or whitish. And I've said this before. I think gray fits the sky way better than light blue. Just a personal opinion. Anyway, so how I decided to celebrate. I decided to celebrate this World Book Day by honoring one of my favorite authors, and someone that to me it's a very powerful inspiration, and that I'm very happy to actually be able to get to know him as of today. Nowadays, let me tell you who I'm talking about. So today, for World Book Day, for this celebration, who I wanna recommend, or the writer that I've chosen to celebrate this day, it's Roberto Sanchez. Yes, Roberto Sanchez. So let me tell you something about Roberto Sanchez. So, Roberto Sanchez, he's a Chilean science fiction author, writer, and he's also a dentist. So to me, that somehow relates because I'm also part of the health system. And I also love science fiction. So when I discovered him many years ago, when I started reading him, to me it was like, oh my, this really relates to perhaps my situation. So from the beginning, it felt to me as someone to look up, someone to follow. And not only that, the thing was that Roberto, he's a very, how to say, low profile writer, perhaps, not massively known. He's not like a super popular, bestseller author, but he's got an amazing corpus of texts. And not only that, he has won twice one of the most important science fiction awards that there is outside, or at least in the times when he won. And I'm talking about the UPC, the award of the UPC means Universidad Politécnica de Cataluña, which is a Polytechnic University of Catalonia. And this university has this award for the best short science fiction novel, and there was a time when even Brian Aldiss, he said this is probably the most important science fiction award, at least in Europe. So here it is, Roberto Sanhueza, a Chilean writer, very humane, very human, like very relatable. And even though he's like, chilling around, he happened to win this award twice. Twice. We only have one other author in our science fiction list of authors that have actually won that award, and that's Jorge Baradit. He won it as well. He was the first Chilean to win it, actually. But then he became very popular, He was very popular, although he left the science fiction and he started working on other projects. And actually, nowadays, he's kind of a politician. So you see how the stories were very different. So, to me, Roberto Sanhueza was like the role model in terms of how things developed, unfolded for him, And I don't know, I just felt that. I just really felt very inspired by the way he developed his literature, in a very underground way, yet very powerful in terms of how to express it. It's like, it's like those pieces of literature that become transcendental, immortal, everlasting, and not because of its massive popularity or fame, but because of what it is in terms of literature, in terms of artistic merit. So to me, that's what Roberto Sanhueza feels like. He feels like this legendary author that works in this way, and that we have and that we are lucky enough to be able to read him. Somehow I feel like every time you read a really good book, somehow I feel grateful. Like, oh my, such a great thing that this exists, something like that. So anyway, that's why I'm choosing Roberto Sanhueza to do this homage tribute in this World Book Day. And of course, I'm not just gonna talk like this about him. I'm gonna talk a little bit more. And actually, I want to show you his novels. So let me tell you something. So he's got 3 short novels, besides all the short stories that he has published in several places. And he has actually published a lot in English as well as in Spanish. But he's one of those cases actually where he first published in the United States, then in Spain, and only now he's being more recognized in Chile. But I think that happens a lot here, probably in some other countries as well, perhaps, I don't know. But I mean, that's a very familiar story in terms of big writers or something, Anyway, so what I want to talk about is about something that this is not an official name, but I've chosen to call his books, his novels, something that I like to refer as the Underground Trilogy. The Underground Trilogy. It's an involuntary trilogy. Trilogy? Yeah, I'm saying it right. In terms that I'm gonna show you his 3 short novels, but they are not. It's not a thematic trilogy because all his 3 books are standalones. But I do feel it's an involuntary trilogy in terms of the spirit of the books, the essence of the books, the way they are written, the way they connect. So to me, it is this Underground Trilogy. And why underground? First, because of what I've just told you, I think he's a very underground author, although he's awesome. And also underground in terms of referring something that's very particular of him, very peculiar of him. And this is the universe he has built for his novels. And how this relates to underground is that it's a very characteristic atmosphere. You can say like it's a very mundane, very cyberpunkish, very marginal, peripheral in terms of, representing an imperfect world and somehow, dystopian scenario. But it's not a dystopia. I'm just saying that the stereotype, like imagine this like futuristic, kind of dirty and dark and cold world. So that's the atmosphere he uses, and that's why these are the key elements of why I'm referring to his work as the Underground Trilogy, and those are the things you're gonna find. So first, let me tell you the names of the novels so we can get in the same ground. So in order of publications, we first have Bis. This one came out in 2009, and this was his first win with the UPC award. Bis. I'll let you know what they are about. Then we have El Año del Gato, the Year of the Cat. This came out in 2014, also the winner of the UPC. And finally, then we have the last one that he has published, El Fruto de tu Vientre. This is from 2020 from CH Ediciones, from the Vintage Pulp collection that I've mentioned in other videos about these collections. So when we talk about Roberto Sanchez, we have to know that these are his 3 novels. This is the Underground Trilogy, as I like to mention them. So let's talk a little bit about them. Well, first of all, you can buy this on Amazon. I bought them. They came from Spain. And this one, I believe right now it's out of stock, but I think there should be a digital version or something like that. So, well, the thing is that they're all you can get his books. It's not that hard. So that's a trilogy. Great books. World Book Day. Roberto Sanchez. So let's talk a little bit about what's so peculiar about him. So first of all, how can we characterize his style? I do agree with Miquel Barceló. Miquel Barceló, he's a Spanish writer, editor, translator, expert, and grandmaster of the science fiction overall. And Miquel Barceló has mentioned that Sanhueza's work is of the kind of a futuristic thriller. And I do agree. I think that's the main thing about Sanhueza's work. In all of these novels, you're going to find yourself involved in a story that behaves as a thriller in this futuristic environment that I've just described for you. And it always involves a mystery to be resolved by someone that is related to that kind of job, police, detective, lawyers, etc. So it's always a mystery. There is suspense. There is this character in this type of world, and he has to solve some kind of mystery and how this revolves around the character, and many things happen. Things don't go as expected, and all of that. So he writes very fast-paced novels. He uses a lot of action, a lot of mystery solving, and basically that. So his books are really are very entertaining as well, as layered with other symbols. And so the first one I'm going to mention, this is Bis. So the first one that, as I mentioned, that won an award. And oh wait. Just clicked something on my computer, but it's all fine. Okay, so Bis, this one in particular, this one happens in Santiago de Chile, the capital of Chile, and it's about it's about Edmundo Montero. Edmundo was the best detective of the police, but he died during pandemic years of Santiago. This was written before COVID-19. So Roberto imagined a pandemic situation not related to COVID at this time. And what happens is that this very, very good detective, there is something to be resolved in this new future, and they want him back. So they bring him back as an artificial intelligence, like a microchip, and he gets inserted into another detective, Amanda Mercado. That's the one where he gets inserted into, so he can help solve this kind of mystery. So that's how it unfolds in this biotechnological future of this dark Santiago. And then we go all the way from Santiago to New York City. This one, probably this one is my favorite right now. I may change because one day I like one better than the other, but this one I really like. This one's El Año del Gato, the Year of the Cat, and once again we have this thriller atmosphere. And in this case, well, we changed the country. Now it's New York, but Sanhueza's characters are always kind of a very they are very Chilean. So it's a very nice way to analyze how the Chilean character in at least this type. It's a huge diversity, but this is something to keep in mind. And in this case, we follow a character named Mr. Sabre. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Sabre, Saber. But anyway, so Mr. Sabre, but he is a private detective. Not a police as in the previous one. He's a private detective and that works in this city, in this world where most of the things are virtual reality, both the landscape and the personalities and the appearances of people. So it's a weird time to be a detective, but somehow he gets involved in this multi-corporation conspiration, and it's a very interesting book. And of course there is a cat involved. You gotta read it to figure out, to know more about it. And lastly, we come to the newest one, no? El fruto de tu vientre, as I've mentioned before, 2020, and once again a futuristic thriller, but this time we come back to Chile and we go all the way to the south of Chile, where Roberto Sanchez is from. And here the main character it's not a police detective, it's not a private detective, but it's a lawyer. This lawyer that lives in the south of Chile, and Concepcion, Temuco, Chiloé, those are the places that are mentioned. So the character's name is Ricardo Hernandez. He's a lawyer, as I mentioned. And what happens in this book? In this book, the thing is that some mutations have happened, and some people, because of this mutation, genomic mutation, some people can live very long. It's like this hint towards immortality. And Ricardo, the lawyer, he gets involved with one of these people. But of course, as any Sanhueza's book, there is huge conspirations and there is big powers involved that want this type of people. And here it's not only big corporations, but also the church. So things get even more messy. And in the end, once again, it's an awesome thriller and a mystery and suspense science fiction novel, very loyal to Roberto Sanhueza's style. So that's what we have. That's the Underground Trilogy. Highly recommended. Once again, this is probably one of my favorite science fiction authors of Chile. I love his books. I'm confident that more are to come, but somehow I feel that the Underground Trilogy, it's this. I think his next novel, it's not gonna be like this one's. I don't know, just a gut feeling. So I think it's worth mentioning, especially in this World Book Day. And the other thing that I think it's very interesting about the trilogy, the last thing I'm gonna mention, because the video is gonna be too long, it's that I really enjoy the symbolic journey of the places he chooses. In the first novel, in Bis, we go from the capital of Chile, and then with the Year of the Cat, he leaps towards the financial capital of the world, New York. But then in the end, he returns to his roots, to southern Chile. So I do feel there is a symbolic journey there. There is a symbolic journey in terms of an author finding himself, finding his place, perhaps, of where he wants to put his stories, and probably how he feels. I think these are elements that talk about Sanhueza's life itself. So I think it's very interesting. And well, I said that was the last thing I was going to mention, but I think I lied because there's another thing I want to mention. Just something about his style, his prose, his writing style. It's it's fantastic. He's a master of the first person point of view, and he really enjoys using a main character in the first person point of view, but then as the chapters unfold, he goes from the classical omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscience, that's the word, omniscience, omniscience, you'll know what I mean, type of narrator, third person, but then he comes back to the first person point of view with the main characters. So, well, that's it. This is a legendary author of Chilean science fiction. I really enjoy his literature, so I'm happy to have chosen him for this World Book Day, which is the main topic about this video. Once again, so long video again. I think I just can't make short videos. I don't know why, and then I get so upset editing them because it takes so long, the rendering and all that. Anyway, I think Roberto deserves a not shorter video. I think it's hard to speak about his literature in just a short video. 3 books and a big legacy. Again, legendary author. So go check him out and enjoy your World Book Day. I will, because it's a cloudy, beautiful day. And that's it. I'll see you around in another video. Have fun. Let me know if you've read Sanhueza. Let me know if you have a personal favorite of his 3 books. Or if you have another analysis or anything, you can just write me or contact me or whatever. I'll be around. So remember, this is another video from your favorite dermatologist who also happens to write science fiction. That's officially gonna be my ending line. So I like it. I'm liking it. Gotta work on it, but I'm liking it. That okay? Yeah, okay. That's it. Bye. See you around. See you in the next video.